Okay everyone, welcome back to CBD Yoga and Fitness. My name is Mike and thank you all so much for joining me today for this gentle morning yoga stretch for beginners. So continuing on with our beginner series, this is going to be an awesome sequence you can do first thing in the morning, right when you get out of bed. So go ahead and put some coffee or some tea on, roll your mat, and let's get started. Okay everyone, so we're going to begin doing some sun salutations. So sun salutations are a great way to start our day. So let's go ahead and come to the top of our mat. Feet can be together or hip-width distance apart. Hands can rest by our sides. Maybe you roll your shoulders a couple times. Coming back to your breath, fully arriving in this moment. I know for a lot of us, right when we wake up, we may have hundreds of thoughts going through our minds. You might not even know where they come from, but just try to let everything go. If you have a foggy mind, just try and let it go with each exhale. Simply just come back to this moment. And as you start to tap into this moment, feel free to set an intention for our short practice today, or maybe you want to recite some affirmations. A lot of studies show that our mind, our subconscious mind, is most susceptible like first thing in the morning or right before bed. So what we think about, how we talk to ourselves first thing in the morning can have a really huge impact as our day goes on. So just be mindful of that. So maybe you say, I am beautiful, I'm confident, I'm strong, I'm courageous, I'm worthy, I'm amazing, whatever comes to mind. When you're ready, let's begin. So let's inhale, bring our hands up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin to the mat, elbows hug in, hips stay elevated. Inhale, baby cobra, keeping the gaze down. Exhale, come back to downward facing dog, keeping those fingers spread wide, hands actively pushing into the mat. And pedal out your legs here, really waking up the backs of the legs. For a lot of us, our hamstrings will be really tight first thing in the morning. So we're going to be doing 5 sun salutations in total. So this is our first one, but my aim for you guys watching is just to try to be very mindful as we go about these sun salutations. So try to really sync up your movements with your breath. And I'll do my best to guide you through them here, but really just try to sync up that mind and body connection. So on your next inhale here, come up onto the tippy toes, exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands through hearts and by your sides. So we got 4 more. So let's inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank, lower knees, chest, chin to the mat. Elbows hug in. Inhale, baby cobra. Gaze down. Exhale, Downward facing dog. Come back to your breath. Then on your next inhale, come up on the tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step, hop or float to the top. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands through hearts. By your side, starting to create energy in the body. Let's go, inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank, lower knees, chest, chin to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come up on the tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step, hop or float to the top. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands through hearts. By our sides, we got two more. Here we go. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Gaze down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Letting go of any worries or any plans for the day ahead and simply just come back to this moment, taking time for yourself today, taking care of your body, your mind, and your soul. On your next inhale, come up on the tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step, hop or float to the top. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands through heart. By your sides, we got one more. Here we go. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great job, you guys. Now from here, lower the knees to the mat. We're going to be coming into a nice, gentle child's pose. So knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. Walk the hands out long in front of you. And simply just melt forward, letting the forehead rest on the mat. And in this child's pose, let's all just take a minute here to simply just express some gratitude for ourselves, for taking the time to show up today, giving ourselves credit. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly release. We'll stay on our knees, and from here we'll make our way into a toe stand. So we can place the knees together and we'll curl the toes, and we'll simply just sit back onto our heels. So for a lot of us, this can be a very intense pose for our feet. So if this is just too much for you this morning, we can just simply have the toes uncurled and just sit on our heels like this. Either or works. And we'll just take a minute here to stretch out our feet. Hands can rest on the legs. Maybe you close your eyes here and come back to your intention, or do some more affirmations. So 2 more breaths here. And on your next exhale, very mindfully release. And then from here, we'll come to take a seat, and we'll extend our legs out long. And from here, we're going to be coming into a nice seated forward fold. So from here, let's inhale, bring our hands up towards the sky. Exhale, bend forward, keeping a straight back. Go to a place where you can't go any further, and then you can melt forward. You can have the toes flexed here if you like. You can also have the knees bent here if you like. Just find whatever feels good. Feeling this nice stretch in the back body as well as in the back of the legs. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Exhale, slowly rise back up. I love stretching out my hamstrings first thing in the morning. From here, we're going to be coming into like figure 4s, or coming into like a foot baby pose. So I'll demonstrate that here. So figure 4 is basically just creating a figure 4 with the body. So we can start with our right leg. So simply just bringing our right foot on top of our left leg, keeping our right foot flexed here. And really just opening up that right hip. So you can stay here if this is enough for you, or we come into that foot baby by just extending our left leg long, basically just cradling our right leg or right foot, can be coming into like the elbow crease of our left arm. We can simply just hold our foot baby here, rock side to side, finding any movement that feels nice. Really just waking up that right hip. Keeping our left foot flexed. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths wherever you are. And Exhale, let's release and take it over to the other side. So again, either coming into figure 4 by placing the left foot on top of the right leg, keeping that left foot flexed, really just breathing into that left hip, or coming into that foot baby, extending our right leg long, keeping our right foot flexed, bringing that left foot into the elbow crease of our right arm, and just holding our left leg like we're holding a baby. And again, finding any movement that feels nice here. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And exhale, release. And from here, let's keep our feet planted into the mat. And we'll simply come to lay flat on our backs. So we're going to be coming into a bridge pose. So we can walk the feet close to our bums. And then from here, let's plant our hands into the mat beside us and simply inhale, shift our hips up towards the sky. If you have a block, you can keep it between your knees, or if you don't have a block, you can just imagine a block in between your knees. You can shimmy the shoulders underneath. Option to clasp the hands together here. Just come back to your breath. And then to release, let's inhale, bring our hands up towards the sky, come up onto the tippy toes, and then exhale, slowly lower our spine down to the mat. Let's take a constructive rest here by placing our feet as wide as the mat, letting the knees knock in towards each other. One hand can rest on your heart, the other on your belly. Exhale, let's come back to center. And again, we'll come into another bridge pose. Option to take a wheel pose here if that's in your practice. So let's inhale, shift the hips up towards the sky. Again, chinning the shoulders underneath you, clasping the hands together, coming into bridge. Or if wheel pose is your practice, you can simply plant the hands above the shoulders beside your ears. And then inhale, lift up, coming into a wheel pose. If you are in wheel pose, slowly make your way back into bridge. And then once again in bridge, inhale, hands up towards the sky, coming up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, slowly lower the spine down to the mat. And again, we'll take a constructive rest. Feet as wide as the mat, knees knocking in. This time opposite hand on your heart, opposite hand on your belly. Coming back to your breath. And then exhale, come back to center. And again, options to take another bridge pose, or if fish pose is in your practice, we'll just lift up our hips slightly and place our hands underneath our tailbone, underneath our sacrum. extending the legs out long, keeping the feet flexed towards you. Again, chinning the shoulders underneath you. If you are coming into fish pose, you want to have most of the weight in like your forearms and your elbows. So let's inhale, lift our chest up, take a look at our feet, maybe wiggle the toes here, and then simply just shift the head back, letting the crown of the head rest slightly on the mat, or you can let it hover here. One of my favorite poses. And if you are in fish, slowly release, lifting our head back up, and then lowering our back to the mat. If you are in bridge pose, you can release the same way. And we'll come to lie flat on our backs, and then from here, we'll hug our knees into our chest, give ourselves a nice big hug this morning. Maybe you rock side to side, finding any movement that feels nice. And then from here, we'll make our way into a happy baby. So grabbing the outsides of the feet, bringing the feet up towards the ceiling. Try and keep your full spine in the mat. So for some of us, our sacrum or our tailbone may be coming off the mat. See if you can try to keep that sacrum, that lower back firmly in the mat here. Pull slightly on the feet. As the feet push up towards the ceiling. Take a few more breaths here. Exhale, slowly release. From here, we'll extend our left leg long and hug our right knee into our chest. We'll come into a nice supine twist, so we'll guide our right knee over to the left side body. You want to make sure to keep both shoulders firmly rooted in the mat here, so arms can come to a T. Coming back to your breath. Exhale, slowly come back to center. We'll take it over to the other side, extending the right leg long, hugging our left knee in towards us, and guiding our left knee to our right side. Arms can come to a T, keeping both shoulders firmly rooted in the mat. So if your left shoulder is coming off the mat, see if you can dial it back a little bit more, even if it means lifting the left leg up a little bit. So you want to make sure both shoulders are always in the mat in the supine twists. And then from here, exhale, come back to center. From here, let's make our way into a reclined butterfly pose by placing the soles of the feet together, letting the knees open up wide, letting the hips open up naturally. Again, we can have one hand on our hearts, one hand on our belly, or our hands can rest by our sides. Just come back to your breath. On your next exhale, you can extend our legs out long, coming into Shavasana, or we can do a couple rocks, rocking up and down, massaging our spine. So either staying in Shavasana or let's come into a nice seated position of your choice. We'll bring our hands together at our hearts. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. Hope you all have amazing, beautiful, abundant days. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to check out the other videos in this beginner series, I will include them up in the corner here as well as in the description below. So with that being said, let's bring our hands together at our third eye. The light in me honors the light in all of you. Thank you so much. Namaste.